Frankenstein. Or Frankenstein. This is the new Guillermo del Toro movie, starring Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Christoph Waltz, Mia Goth. Good cast, really good cast. Obviously, I always struggle with that first name. Guillermo del Toro. His fascination with creatures, like it's what he does best, right? Shape of Water, just an outstanding film. Pan's Labyrinth, one of my absolute favorites, just so good. And then this film. So, what did I think of this one, Frankenstein? I thought it was very enjoyable. I watched it and I was like, this is enjoyable. There's an element of flashback about it, which I always have a little bit of a problem with a flashback type of story, because you know who hasn't survived. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just too much of a... It's too much of a spoiler for me when I'm watching a film. So, for example, Titanic. Right? Obviously, I know Titanic sinks, so I can't ever complain about that as a spoiler. But it's told from the perspective of Rose, right? Rose, who is the main character. And so she's an old lady. So the whole film is a flashback. So I know she doesn't die. And I don't know, maybe I'm crazy for having this point of view, but it just... There's a slight percentage taken away of a thrill, I guess, whenever she's in a situation where she could die, because I'm like, well, she won't, right? Because we see her as an old lady. Like, there's a bit where she's about to commit suicide and jump off, and Leonardo DiCaprio comes and, like, you know, talks her down. But it's like, yeah, obviously. And then she slips and he catches her. It's like, oh my God, is she going to die? No, she's not, because she's telling the story. So, and I feel that way about everything that does sort of flashbacky things. It's a bugbear of mine. I really don't like flashbacky things, I have to say. I'm sorry, I don't like them. And so Frankenstein has an element of flashbackiness about it, which, yeah, I don't like it. Okay, I just put my hands up. I do not like that. But I get over it. I can still enjoy the movie, even though if it's flashbacky, you know, obviously. But this one was maybe a little bit too long, because maybe spoiler alert, just in case you don't know the story of Frankenstein, one of the most famous stories ever told. It's told from the perspective of Victor Frankenstein, and you're like, okay, it's this huge flashback. So he's in the middle of, like, this icy, is it North Pole? Maybe the North Pole area. And this ship that's sort of frozen in the ice, and all the men on the ship are trying to, like, free the ship from the ice. They find Victor Frankenstein, and they get attacked by the monster, and they manage to fend off Frankenstein's monster, and they bring Victor Frankenstein onto the ship, and he just tells the whole story. And it's about him trying to make a body come to life. And yeah, you watch it all and you're like, okay. Long flashback, and then we're gonna make our way through the story. But then the monster gets back onto the ship, and we're like an hour and a half in, I reckon, at this point. It feels like we're a long way into the movie. And then Frankenstein goes, oh, you've heard his story, now let me tell you mine. I mean, Frankenstein's monster says, you've heard Victor Frankenstein's story, now let me tell you mine. And I'm like, oh, another long flashback now, where obviously he's not going to die, because he's here telling the story. So we have two long flashbacks. Like, the film is just two halves, basically, and it's two long flashbacks of two characters that I know aren't going to die. So yeah, that puts me off. I have to say, it brings down movies for me. It brings down stories for me. Don't do flashbacks anymore, please, movies. And also it made the film a bit too long. I have to. I must say it's too long. It was too long, but it was still enjoyable in the Guillermo del Toro way. It was still just, I guess, engaging, scary, a bit horrific, in like a quirky kind of Guillermo way. Maybe there was a kind of a Netflix sheen to it, a Netflix shininess about it, which, Pan's Labyrinth, for example, doesn't have. But that didn't take away from the movie. I still found the movie really enjoyable. I was engaged, and I was gripped, and I was like, this is great. Even though I know the character's not going to die at this moment because we're in a flashback, but it's still really good. But I did have a thought. This has got nothing to do with like the making of the movie at all. It's just my thought about the storyline, which is Victor Frankenstein goes through this huge ordeal to bring about life, right? And the half the movie is about this, getting funding, finding bodies, body parts, sewing them together, and then like eventually like a flash of lightning comes down and the monster is born, and it's basically a baby at this point because it can't really talk or anything, so it's got to learn. And then I'm like, okay, you created the life, but I don't know why this is amazing, because we humans can do this. That's called having sex and then giving birth to a baby, and then you bring the baby up. Like, I was watching it, I was like going, what is the point of this? Humans can quite capably do this already. I don't know why you're putting so much effort into creating a life. Like, it's not like Frankenstein's brain can remember the life of the dead body that he got the brain from in the past. It's like a brand new brain that's learning new things, really. It's learning the word Victor. It's learning the word Elizabeth and things like that. It's a baby just learning new things. And you're like, well, when I watched it, I was a bit like, well, what's the actual point of this scientific endeavor? We can make babies. Lots of people have sex and have babies. Loads of people do that. Like, the thing that you've managed to do is a thing that we can do naturally, easily. So yeah, I was watching it. I was like, okay, this is good. This is kind of scary. But yeah, what a waste of your life. Like, you spent your whole life trying to do this where you could have just had a baby, and it's the same thing. You've created a life and then you bring it up. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on Frankenstein. I don't know, maybe I missed something. Is there something else that he thought was going to happen? Like, was he going to create... I don't know what he thought he was going to create, but yeah, it's just a human, basically, that you've made. A new human with a brain, which is what we do. So yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Again, see if you can name the movie in the background. The blurry movie on my TV in the background is a horror movie, just in time for Halloween.